Links to the story below. I was going to do this story, but this one is a much more complete story now because they actually have a motive walking in on two girls while they're having lesbian sex. Two teenage girls from West Virginia who were handed lengthy prison sentences last year in the stabbing death of their best friend had repeatedly claimed they killed 16-year-old Skyler Neese simply because they didn't like her anymore. Okay, not enough motive there, right? But the contents of Skyler's personal diary suggests that the straight-A student may have known a salacious secret about her two friends and was threatening to reveal it. Rachel Schoaf, along with her friend Sheila Eddy, lured Neese out of her house in July 2012, right? It takes 2 years to get this stuff through the court, before stabbing her multiple times and hiding her body in a Pennsylvania wood. Okay? And they show a lot of the tweets, and it's just Skyler Neese, right? She's the one that got killed. She's like, just know I know. But anyway, you can see a lot of stuff in there. It's not just her diary. It's stuff she's tweeting and everything. It looks like she was really rubbing it in her face that she knew what was going on. It was not until 6 months later that the accomplices finally confessed to the savage murder and led officers to a remote location where Skyler's body had been concealed. When interviewed by police, Rachel, a high school drama star, told investigators that she and Sheila stabbed Skyler to death because they no longer liked her as a friend. But according to a new book, Pretty Little Killers, which details the horrific murder, the girls may have been scared that Skyler was planning to out them as a lesbian couple. The theory was reported on Friday's episode of 2020 on ABC dedicated to the shocking case. In her diary obtained by authors Daleen Berry and Jeff Fuller, Skyler Neese reportedly wrote a graphic detail about walking in on Sheila and Rachel having sex during a sleepover in her home. I mean, I didn't mean to be salacious here, but was she getting graphic about what they were doing step by step, or was it just because they were having sex? That's the graphic detail. Well, anyway, and in weeks after the incident, the 16-year-old university high school student apparently made sure her friends were aware that she knew their secret. This is just know that I know, right? This is stuff she's tweeted. Skyler tweeted on one occasion, on another, she wrote about her desire to tell everything to everyone if she thought she could get away with it. All right, so, well, another thing is what are they scared about? I mean, to be embarrassed. So being embarrassed is enough to go kill somebody? I mean, it's not illegal, okay? I mean, there are countries where things like that's illegal. I can understand that maybe, but come on. However, neither Skyler's parents nor police investigators have embraced the idea that Schoaf and Eddy's murder Skyler in cold blood just to stop her from speaking out about their alleged sexual tryst. Mary Neese, Skyler's mother, and this is another thing that gets kind of, well, I'll get into this a little bit here, told ABC's 2020 that Skyler's mother told ABC's 2020 that her daughter had many gay and lesbian friends and she would not have taunted someone because of her sexual preference. See, here you go. So the victim's mother, see, she doesn't want it to be about a lesbian couple because she doesn't want it to make it look like her daughter did what it looks like she did. Okay, was harassing people about their sexual orientation. So even she's trying to cover it up. And then, of course, the parents are going to try to cover it up or whatever because they don't want anything that may cause any problems at all for their kids. Okay, so you see how everyone is lying here. You see how everyone is lying. Okay, on their part, investigators involved in this case got the impression from their interactions with Schoaf and Eddy that the teens stabbed Neese for the thrill of it and to see if they could get away with murder. Come on, what sounds like the biggest motive here, okay? When they finally confessed to the crime along with Skyler's disappearance, the two accomplices said that they planned the friend's murder in science class, discussing in detail in which weapon to use in order to hide the body. Before the fateful night on July 6th, Schoaf and Eddy bought cleaning supplies and tools for digging. The girls then stashed several knives in their hooded sweatshirts and drove to Skyler's home, according to police. Eddie and Schoaf lured Skyler out of their ground floor bedroom in Star City and took her to a secluded spot across state lines to Pennsylvania. Okay, and it shows pictures of the teenagers and all this kind of stuff. The trio spent some time smoking marijuana in the woods. Okay, when Skyler got up to grab a lighter, Schoaf and Eddie trailed her with knives at the ready, and on the count of 3, they began stabbing her. The 16-year-old tried to run away, but Rachel tackled her to the ground, and one of the teens then slashed her jugular vein. Okay, she's over there. That's done. Bleeding out. All along, the plan was to bury Skyler's body, but the ground proved too hard. So according to authorities, the girls covered the murdered former friend with branches and left her in the wooded area for months. As Skyler's distraught parents, police, and entire community were frantically searching for the missing girl, Sheila kept up a disturbing normal social media presence. On July 7th, just a day after she and Schoaf killed Miss Neese, Eddie tweeted, "Happy birthday," message to a friend. Eddie kept up a steady stream of tweets about watching Law and Order on TV, crime show, doing homework, and going to parties, according to the new ABC 2020 that aired Friday. I think they already said that, didn't they? She also tweeted about how close her friends was with Schoaf, writing, "No one on earth can handle me and Rachel. You think you can? You're wrong." Well, they've killed people. Okay, they killed another girl, so I guess they're tough now, right? But away from the social media, Sheila played the role of a heartbroken friend. This is creepy, and then they're just getting real deep into it, right? The Sheila, one of the ones that killed Neese, going to Neese's home to spend time with her parents. In retrospect, that stood out and horrified Skyler's parents the most is the time when Eddie came over and asked to sit on the missing girl's bed. So she stabbed her to death, helped stab her to death, and then she wants to go grieve with the parents and sit on the girl's bed. In the 2020 interview, they're going to make sure you know it's in 2020, by the way, Miss Neese described how her daughter's killer wept in Skyler's room. The mother sat down next to her and comforted her, gently rubbing her back, right, all the time, not even knowing that this is one of the little witches that killed her daughter. And she's like, "Oh my Lord," and we believed that garbage, Miss Neese said. Dave Neese added, Skyler trusted those 2 little witches, and it cost her her life. When investigators questioned the Neeses about their daughter's circle of friends, Neese asked police to leave Sheila alone. So the Neeses are like, "Don't pick on my daughter." Okay? Yeah. From one police interview to the next, Schoaf and Eddie repeated the same version of events, insisting that they did not take Skyler on a ride away from Star City on the night that they went missing. So you would think, well, you think they got to get evidence from somewhere. The first clue came when police obtained surveillance video from the night of July 6th, showing Sheila's car driving away from the town toward Pennsylvania border, which directly contradicted Schoaf and Eddie's prospective rehearsed story. Eddie volunteered to take a lie detector test, which police said she failed. So Sheila failed it. And when Rachel's turn came to face the polygraph, the high school drama star jumped out of her father's moving car on the way to the test. So these little nut jobs, huh? There you go. Meanwhile, the Neese family and the girls' friends started putting pressure on the duo to come clean about the night of Skyler's disappearance. In January 2013, 6 months after Skyler vanished without a trace, 16-year-old Rachel had a nervous breakdown and had to be sent to a psychiatric hospital. Okay, and this is Rachel. Upon her release, this is the one that ran out of the car, right? She headed straight to the police. The first words out of her mouth were, "We stabbed her," and investigators working the missing person case recalled. A few days later, Sheila Eddie was back on Twitter, posting messages about watching her favorite TV shows. So Rachel breaks down mentally. Okay, she's I guess confronted with it when they start going to the family. You got to take a lie detector. So once it starts getting, she's like, oh my gosh, we're going to get caught. And now she's freaked out, and you know, she, yeah. And the other one, Sheila, just evidently totally didn't care. In March, authorities announced the remains found belonged to Skyler Neese. Even then, Eddie was still keeping up the act. She posted a picture montage of girls together with the message, "Rest easy, Skyler, you'll always be my best friend." Except when you're stabbing her. Okay, she then tweeted that it was the worst day of my whole life. For a time, Eddie refused to cooperate with the investigation. Police decided to put a wire on Rachel, hoping to incriminate her accomplice, but Sheila said nothing during the encounter. Sheila Eddie, one of her tweets is, "We really did go on 3, you know," and yeah, and then something about you say, the things that you say, remember the past, it was way better than it was, and then happy birthday, whatever. And anyway, just some of these tweets, a lot of them are that great. Anyway, a break in the same case when police officers found traces of blood on Sheila's Eddie's car. Okay, now they have video, shows they lied. And now they have DNA. A DNA test confirmed the blood was Skyler's. There we go. That same day, Eddie was arrested in a parking lot of Cracker Barrel restaurant in front of her mother. On March 30, 2013, just before she was taken into custody, Eddie tweeted, "We really did go on 3. Eddie pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to January to life as part of a plea agreement that makes her eligible for parole after 15 years. Shove 17 pleaded guilty last May to second-degree murder and the July 12 slaying. She'll be eligible for parole in 10 years. So let me just make sure. So Eddie's going to be eligible for parole in 15 years. Okay. And Rachel, how is this even possible? And Rachel's going to be in 10. And Eddie's the one that came forward. Well, anyway, all right. Maybe I'm getting these. Rachel Schoaf. Yeah. Rachel's. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, Schoaf is the one that resisted the most, and she's getting 10 years. And the one that cooperated was Eddie, and she's getting 15. I mean, they should both get executed as far as I'm concerned. But I'm just saying, look at how did that happen? It's you don't apologize for murdering somebody in cold blood. That's the thing. Now they're gonna, oh, I'm sorry, I got caught. The father told 2020 Eddie refused to address the court other than to say guilty, something that Mr. Neese found unacceptable at the time. Dave Neese now only has one thing to say to his daughter's killers: rotten hell. Good. Sheila and Rachel could be released from prison on good behavior by the time they are in their 30s. And there's some comments, but they don't really add up to much. So the whole thing is, this definitely made Steve's outrageous news. One of the things is about women in particular, and they are interesting stories. Okay, you don't expect it. Okay, and especially for the social skills and everything, women are usually a lot better than they are for men, and the ability to simply commit murder like that and just return to normal. I'm not saying all women can do that, and definitely some men can, but we're shocked more when women do it. Okay, it's this thing. Women don't expect women to be like this, and men don't expect men. But I guess if we're smart, we've seen enough of these stories, we know that both men and women are absolutely capable of some incredible stuff. But that's, just teenage girls. That's pretty crazy. But like I say, at least the motivation is understandable now. All right, well, that definitely made Steve's outrageous news. You can go to the link below. I also do some anime reviews. I have anime hangouts. My news channel. Take a look around. Until next time, take care.